you don't have permission to stream using my streaming software, which has never happened before. So sorry about it. But honestly, TikTok Live always gets mad at me when I say anything. And can I just say, I'm so unwell right now. What's happening? What is happening, like, cosmically? What is happening, like, energetically to me and to everyone else? And I really can't even get into it because it's so annoying, but I hate tension. I hate tension, and I hate having to be like, should I tell this person that? Should I do that? Like, I hate workplace tension. I just don't like it. Ew, my chat is in the wrong spot. And it's giving me a lot of anxiety. That's one thing about me is workplace tension. My body thinks I'm being chased by a bear, which is perfect. Perfect. But honestly, this is exactly what I needed, because I was thinking today, I was literally just sitting there being, and then I was like, you know what? I need to have no thoughts. I need to be doing something where it's physically incapable of thinking about anything other than that thing. So I tried to watch TV. That didn't work. And I was like, this is exactly what I needed. And at first, I was feeling bad because normally I like look over the slides and will like edit it and stuff before I'm on here with you all. And I just didn't get the chance to do that because, like I mentioned, I'm literally like treading water. Okay. But it says I have 3 viewers, but then there's more than 3 people in the chat. They're just lying to me. Everyone lies to me. Your mom's chest hair 16 on a 22-month streak. That's very long. But anyway, I was like, I just need to be engrossed in something. I was like, do I do like a crossword puzzle? Like, I just need my brain to like turn off for a little bit. So let's go ahead and get into it. Like I said, TikTok is not here tonight, but I guess this will just be like a more intimate evening. And honestly, maybe that's what we needed. I also completely forgot to promote this anywhere. I made one Instagram post today. So the 13 of you that are here, that's how I know you're loyal. That is how I know you are loyal, because I didn't remind you and you still are here. I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone that's always here, but obviously loyalty does buy you some points. So anyway, we are going to talk about tonight weird old recipes, because I sometimes see these on TikTok and on social media, and I actually was doing this with my class, not nearly to the extent you and I will. We were looking at recipes and photos from the Great Depression, and I was like, oh, that could be a fun thing for a stream. And I thought it was. And I was like, and then we don't have to limit it to the Great Depression. We can just do like all throughout U.S. history. If you don't know me, I'm more of like a U.S. history type of person. That's just kind of what I'm interested in and what I enjoy. Also, can I just say, the pollen is killing me. On top of everything, the pollen. The freaking pollen. And then I can't even, I want to take Allegra, but Allegra makes me more anxious. And I'm already so fucking anxious. I feel like Trisha Paytas. And not like the more recently mother, slightly more demure Trisha Paytas. Like, I feel like Trisha Paytas. Fully. I feel like Trisha Paytas. What is beeping in my house? What is that? Whatever. We've got your back. No, literally, like, my mind is in 1,000 different places, and it needs to be on old recipes. And also, sidebar, next week, sometimes I do this thing where like, so I have like a running document of the stream titles, and sometimes I forget to make it like sounding good, and I just put like what's off the top of my head before I like make a decent title. And that happened with this. So like, this is the title that made it to the graphic, when that probably could have been improved upon slightly. But I really think it's going to be fun. It's going to be another Nearpod one. It's for your listening, because I know some people listen. Next week, we're doing guess the price of really rich people houses, like in random cities in America. So you're going to have to guess the price of them, and it'll be like on Nearpod and interactive again. So if you aren't watching live, it'll still be funny because you'll get to like see the pictures and see what people are guessing. But if you are live, then it'll be even more fun because you'll get to be involved with it. So yeah, that's how that title came to be. Like, we are flying the plane as we're building it, and it's crashing in the current state of events. Exactly. Did you check out Reddit on Wiki? I don't think I know what that means. I'm sure I did at one point, But in this current moment, I do not. Because I want to guess the price because I'm really not good at it. Like, I'm good at it in major cities. Like, I'm good at it in cities where I've lived, and I'm good at it thinking like New York, LA, but I'm not good at it in like random places. So we're just going to find some rich people, random ass houses and see, oh, it was a podcast wreck. No, I have not yet. You're right. This is slightly ringing a bell now. Like I said, I'm sure I knew it at one point. So anyway, weird old recipes. Let's get into it. We've already been complaining about our lives and being dramatic for 5 minutes. There's literally people out there dying. So we're going to start with colonial America. Is that the first point in history? No. Like I was trying to say at the beginning, and I think I got distracted. If you are here to have like a multicultural around the world experience throughout history, this is going to be very, very United States history based. And especially when we get into some of the horrific things like jello ham, it is going to be predominantly white just because jello ham's hilarious. Like, let's be real. What, was I going to not include it? You feel me? So anyway, if you're here to like learn about history from like thousands of years ago, that's not the dish that I'm serving. That was kind of a good pun. I know a girl who's doing her thesis on this. So colonial America, fire cakes. The fire cake was dough made by mixing flour, water, and salt. I'm not having a good time. We just started and I'm already not having a good time. The dough was formed into thick, flat cakes the size of a hand. The cakes were then put on a flat stone, placed near the fire, or put in the ashes. Baking the fire cakes were charred on the outside and doughy on the inside. For storage, they were baked until dry and hard. Oh my God. That's the thing. I don't think it was a struggle meal. Like, I think this was a good day. The ashes. The ashes. While Washington's soldiers at Valley Forge definitely ate fire cake the first few weeks of encampment, once the 20 bake ovens and baker generals showed up early in January, they were getting 1 to 2 pounds of bread pretty much daily. So I guess it is the struggle meal. But it's the ashes that's getting me. It's the ashes. That's like the Play-Doh for kids. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's not edible. And like, I know a lot of bread recipes are just water, flour, and salt, but they're doing it different and it's better. Like, nothing at that screamed or green flag to me. So I guess bread is the good meal and this is the struggle meal for the people that don't have an oven. So this is their version of like a lean cuisine. Because a lean cuisine is what you make when you only have a microwave and no oven. This is what you make when you have a fire and no oven. Everything is connected and time is a circle. So the soldiers are hungry. They're burning more of their calories than they're consuming. And the bad nutrition led to a lot of issues. God, this seems horrible. Martha Washington's pepper cake. Pepper cakes were popular baked goods in early America, known for their intense spice and long shelf life. When long shelf life is the selling point... Okay. At least they didn't say it first. These dense cakes made with molasses, black pepper, ginger, coriander, candied fruits were designed to last for months without spoiling. Like, they're really going in on the shelf life. Their durability, durability is not what I want in a dessert. Durability is not what I want. You know what's not durable? A chocolate molten lava cake. This does not sound like that. A notable American reference to pepper cakes was in a collection of recipes owned by Martha Washington. How to make pepper cakes that will keep good in ye house for a quarter or half a year? No. The recipe does not list black pepper? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Why is it called pepper cake? Of course there's not pepper. Of course. Martha Washington's connection to the recipe highlights the British culinary traditions that shaped early American cooking. Yeah, and it seems fucking horrible. Immediately no. Absolutely not. If long shelf life is the selling point, I'm not buying. We're so lucky to live in a time with all kinds of chemicals in food. I feel like, and I'm trying to make things and like not buy packaged things because I also realize it's kind of cheaper in the long run because I have a really like affordable grocery store near me. But anyway, even without buying the chemical stuff, you can make stuff good because we have like the tools to do it. Like we have so much control over heating and cooling and so many access to like spices and ingredients that were hard to come by. So like I have access to like pretty high quality vanilla. I'm sure that they did not have as easy access to that. Even rich people, I'm sure it was like hard for them to get stuff like that just because of the nature of transportation. So that's what I mean. Like even if I was in the times with like, oh, I only have ingredients, I'm confident I could do better than this. It's the zebra cake of its day. You know what would be so good right now is a cosmic brownie, and I have a ton in my classroom. Wow. The most popular foods eaten in the 13 colonies. Let's fucking go.
The surprising bird that used to be consumed. The pricey delicacy that was more common.
We're probably not going to watch this whole thing.
The most popular place in town to get the best food. Keep watching to find the most popular foods eaten in the 13 original colonies. When it comes to popular foods in the 13 original colonies, everything begins and ends with corn. Yes, the stereotypical idea of corn being eaten in the colonies was actually true, as this is one myth your elementary school books didn't exaggerate.
I hate his vibe.
The technique of growing corn was taught to
I thought that was
settlers by
AI.
the Native Americans in a watershed moment that essentially
yeah,
saved
ice
the
and
colonists from
refrigeration.
starvation. Corn quickly became the first bedrock of American agricultural practice.
I get it.
Once the craft was mastered,
pickled
corn
everything,
was made a staple in colonial cooking,
jumble
and
cookies. This I want to see.
It
the pickles and corn is obvious.
And pickled vegetables in the colonies, though. Jumble cookies, along with a host of other English sweet recipes, were also brought over and adopted into the New World. Jumbo cookies are believed to have come across on the Mayflower, eventually spreading into other areas of America.
This guy's kind of boring. Codfish, pepper cake,
the first lady to
wild game,
lobster. Even had her own
These are just ingredients. I want recipes.
Which...
So, early republic and expansion. Like I said, this is very U.S. history perspective. Swill milk? What the fuck is that? The swill milk scandal was a major food adulteration crisis in the 1850s in New York. Oh my God, they literally used to be putting fucking anything in there. This was before the Pure Food and Drug Act. So the Pure Food and Drug Act is what requires like stuff to be labeled. I don't have any food near me. But like it requires like when you buy something, the ingredients are on it and it has to be what it says it is. When you buy beef, it has to say it's beef. That's what it is. And same thing with medications. So this is before that law. So the New York Times estimated that in 1 year, 8,000 infants died from consuming swill milk. Swill milk came from cows fed on leftover mash from distilleries. To improve its appearance, it was whitened with the plaster of Paris, thickened with starch and eggs, and colored with molasses. Since the mash still contained nutrients, feeding it to cows near distilleries was an economic advantage. As the New York City population grew, so did the demand for milk. However, rising real estate prices pushed hay-fed cattle farms further away, making fresh milk expensive. Meanwhile, alcohol consumption was at an all-time high, and the distilleries found a way to profit by feeding their waste product, swill, to cows. The cows are drunk. The resulting milk was cheap and widely consumed by the city's poor. The New York Academy of Medicine linked swill milk to increased infant mortality, and the publications exposed its dangers. In 1858, Frank Leslie's Illustrated newspaper published a shocking expose on the distillery dairies in Manhattan and Brooklyn. These dairies kept the cows in filthy, cramped conditions, feeding them boiling distillery waste. The cows, often diseased and suffering from rotten teeth, produced milk that was diluted with water and that was then diluted with water, rotten eggs, flour, and burnt sugar before being falsely sold as pure country milk. This is crazy as hell. This is literally crazy as hell. I have a dairy stream. This was not in the dairy stream, but the cheese caves are in the dairy stream. Good question. Where was I? The New York Times described the swill milk as a bluish-white compound of true milk, pus, and dirty water. Ew, with a brown sediment. The expose sparked public outrage, pressuring officials to take actions. However, Alderman Michael Toomey, a Tammany Hall politician, Tammany Hall was like a really corrupt politician gang that ran New York for like a long ass fucking time, defended the distillers and led a biased investigation that dismissed the health concerns. That's like exactly the kind of bullshit they were on. They were like a political machine. Despite efforts to block reform, the public outcry led to the first food safety laws in 1862, introducing milk regulations. Tomey, nicknamed Swill Milk Tomey, continued to resist these laws. Meanwhile, reformer Robert Milham Hartley promoted milk as safe and nutritious beverage, using religious arguments to argue its consumption and address social issues. This is like It's big milk, but it's not big milk. Like, it's both. Like, the big milk is pro and anti. You know what I'm saying? Like, big milk is giving people the dangerous milk, but big milk is also telling people to drink milk in the first place. Okay? Are you with me? Like, big milk, zoom out. It's still big milk. There's big safe milk, there's lawful big milk, and then there's unlawful big milk. Except back then there was no law. Are you with me? I think you're with me. That's the problem with you guys being like a good 20 seconds delayed, because I'll say so much in 20 seconds. So, the history of calf's foot jelly. What is that? Oh, I'm terrified. The jelly was made by simmering calves' feet to extract natural gelatin and then straining it and clarifying the broth. Ew. They would flavor it. I guess it's gelatin and I eat like gummy bears, so I guess it's fine. I'm just not used to being this connected to my food source. I'm like kind of nauseous. I'm not having a good time. Wealthier households often made a refined version and served it as a delicacy. Gross. I'm just going to skip over that. I can't. The zoom out. This is election cake. This seems much less traumatic than the foot jelly. I'm not into the foot jelly. That's a no on the foot jelly. And it's a delicacy. I could vomit just thinking about it. Election cake. 30 quarts of flour, 10 pounds of butter. This is huge. 14 pounds of sugar, 12 pounds raisins. You had me till raisins. I don't even like raisins, but 12 pounds of raisins? You have more raisins than butter. Okay, I would go like 8 pounds raisins. I'm sorry. Like, I would go 8 pounds raisins. 3 dozen eggs, cool. 1 pint wine, cool. 1 quart brandy, great. 4 ounces cinnamon, 4 ounces fine coriander seed, I guess. 3 ounces ground allspice. Like, this seems like pretty good. Are they feeding the entire colony? It's for the election. So you give it to every American, and then they vote for you. This is how our elections have been done historically. Don't quote me on that. Wet the flour with the milk. You guys get it. You put it together, and then you put it in the oven. This looks kind of good. I don't know. That's the best one we've seen so far. The raisins is a lot. The raisins is a lot. This is why, this is my dream, you guys. This is the dream that I have, that I need to achieve, that I'm working very hard to achieve. I would love to not have to go to work and have the money to buy this level of ingredients and make this cake and film the entire thing and live stream the entire thing, actually, the whole time. And just make this cake. And then, I don't know, I'll like give it to people for free. Obviously, I'm not going to eat the whole thing. And I'm not going to. Yeah, 3 dozen eggs. My grocery store was out of eggs recently, and I was like, because my grocery store hadn't raised the prices, so I was like, that's cool. They're gone now. Okay, so that would be my dream, is to make these things, and then you all could actually perceive me trying them. Not the horse foot jelly. Not that one, to clarify, but the election cake, yes. Election cake is mostly forgotten in modern politics and home kitchens, but it has deep roots in American history going back to the 13 colonies. Americans were passionate about voting because they had just gotten their independence from Great Britain. Mood. So Marion Burroughs wrote about the election cake in the New York Times, noting that many elected officials had never tried it. It's also known as the Hartford election cake. Historical records agree in the proper recipe. The New England Historical Society states that it's the first printed version of an American election cake appeared in 1796 in the first U.S. cookbook, American Cookery by Amelia Simmons. So, while women weren't allowed to vote, they would often bake the fruit-studded cake to encourage people to attend elections and town meetings, hence the election cake. So the women make a cake to bribe the men to vote, because women can't vote, but they still have to make the cake. Okay, cool. Perfect. Making a cherry pie in 1808. No talking. Perfect. I'll do all the talking. Like, this is the YouTube channel I want to have. I have a bonnet. You guys have seen it. It's kind of like that one, except it's blue. Except, okay. Like, I get it, but you are recording it on a camera, and there's clearly professional lighting. This is a fun hobby, though. I am having a nice time. Let me stop being an asshole. Can I speed it up? I know y'all love it, but my brain's not really quite there yet. Oh my god, hi! You're not from 1808. Def the 3 times speed. Yeah, okay. Thanks for giving me permission. No! We're using fruit preserved in brandy. Yeah, we're going all the way to 2x here. Flour. It's over. Silent video. I can talk over it easily. Because I always feel bad that you guys can't hear them because I'm talking, but I can't stop talking. That's why I do this. Like, clearly I can't shut the fuck up. I talk for 2 hours straight a week. And that's aside from my entire full-time job of talking. Never knew how to shut the fuck up. I want booze fruit pie. Controversial take. I'm not going to say I'm right because I get why people like it. Don't love hot fruit. Like, I like a chocolate pie or like a lemon meringue pie or like a key lime pie. But like a fruit pie, sometimes an apple pie I do like. But like a berry or like a peach or anything like that, I don't know. I just don't really like... And I'm not even against fruit in desserts. I just don't like fruit in hot desserts. You know what I'm saying? But like strawberries and ice cream, that's really good. Like, I just like cold fruit. I don't really like hot fruit. Each is repulsive, you're right. Because I really do like fruit, but like, I like fruit because it's crispy and it's cold and it's fresh. So when you put it in a pie, it's losing its redeeming qualities to me. And I know that I'm the majority of people do not feel the way that I do. But I like that a lot of you do. Custard pies are superior. Like, I love lemon meringue and key lime. If you've ever had like a mango pie, it's like key lime, but instead of key lime, it's mango. That's literally what it is. So good. I really want a cheesecake. I want a cheesecake so bad right now. I know, like, she's making her fruit pie. That was entertaining. I get why people like that YouTube channel. What the fuck is a rhubarb pie? I don't wish to know. So the Civil War. Generally, when we go to war, things get worse. Hardtack and salted pork. During the Civil War, hardtack was a long-lasting cracker. Again with the long-lasting. Why is long-lasting always the first thing they're saying? And salt pork was a preserved meat. This was a common ration for soldiers. These rations were often infested with worms and weevils. Perfect. Leading hardtack to being named worm castles. Perfect. So improper storage, like we said, it led to the infestations. We found 32 worms and maggots in a cracker the day before yesterday. That's disgusting. This is a hardtack recipe. It's flour, salt, and water. So this really is the same thing as the Revolutionary War. It's just in a slightly different font. Refrigerate 1 to 2 weeks or freeze for several months for longer storage. Perfect. It's how they get protein. Is there protein in this? Does flour have protein? I guess whole wheat more than not. And salt pork. This is sad. And this was a good day. There were lots of days that they didn't feed them. Coffee substitute. Roasted corn and I don't know how to say that. The use of roasted corn as a coffee substitute dates back to at least the 19th century. During the Civil War, when the Union blockade restricted coffee to the Confederacy, Southerners turned to roasted corn as one of the improvised alternatives. It's easy to roast and could mimic some of coffee's roasted, nutty flavors. At that point, just don't. You're good. Oh, chicory. At that point, you don't need coffee. Like, if we're having corn... Community coffee still uses chicory? Is that why I hate it? Flour does have protein, about 13 grams a cup. Oh, interesting. I guess that's why those like viral protein bagels people love so much. But I will say, I did eat them for a while and then I got tired of it. But I think I might be ready to try again. I think I didn't get tired of the bagel. I think I got tired of the avocado. I was putting avocado on it. Maybe I should get like some cream cheese. Oh, I really like the herby cream cheese. I'll try that. Nice. So anyway, to prepare roasted corn coffee, you dry the kernels. It's basically what you can imagine. And they would mix it with sweet potatoes or acorns to enhance the flavor. Disgusting. Moving into the Gilded Age. Mock turtle soup. Okay. This is a clever substitute for the expensive and increasingly scarce real turtle soup that became fashionable for restaurants and opulent dinner parties, allowing hosts to project an aura of wealth and sophistication. Made primarily from calf's head, artfully seasoned to mimic the complex flavors of its namesake, mock turtle soup bridged the gap between aspiration and affordability. So it's a knockoff. It's a knockoff of soup. It's a knockoff of soup. And they really were eating the turtles back then. Like, they were very much eating the turtles. They ate so many turtles. They ate so many. And if you feel like I should be having a stronger reaction to that, food has changed so much throughout time. Like, maybe in 200 years, people will look back at me and be like, how could she possibly be eating chicken? And they could be right. They probably will be right, if we're being honest. From what I know about that industry, they're probably right. So I'm not going to say I condone the eating turtles, but I am going to say I'm not going to assign a ton of individual morality to it. Because like I said, I eat chicken and beef. I just ate a steak not even an hour ago. I like that we can be transparent here. So, it democratized the taste of luxury, appearing on menus from the grandest hotels to more humble establishments, symbolizing the era's desire to emulate European excellence. However, as culinary taste shifted and concerns about ingredients and animal welfare rose in the early 20th century, see, they came around. And the turtles can't even run away. They can't even run away. That's an amazing point. Victims. Oh, I just realized I'm not looking at the YouTube chat at all. Oh, is it not working? Let me put it there and see if it works. Whatever. So, mock turtle soup recipe.
Hey friends, who's hungry?
I'm scared.
Turtle soup is a popular dish still served in Louisiana. But since turtle meat can be kind of hard to find for the average home cook, we're making a mock version with ground beef. Cook 2 pounds
Why
of
did
ground
she
beef
say
in a large
that? Why did she say that like that? Why did she say it like that? Like, she was like, oh, it can be hard to find. Like, it was like, I don't know, like a specific flavor of Pop-Tart. Like, you're like, oh, most stores don't have this one. It's turtles. Ma'am? Ma'am.
stock pot over medium heat, breaking it up into smaller chunks until the meat is no longer pink. With a slotted spoon, remove the ground beef from the pot and set aside. Drain the grease and return the pot to the burner. Melt half a cup of butter with 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Gradually whisk in half a cup of flour until smooth. Stirring constantly, cook the mixture for approximately 6 minutes until your roux is light brown, similar to the color of peanut butter. Add 1 medium diced onion, 2 stalks of chopped celery, and 1 large diced green bell pepper.
Far.
Cook for 5 minutes until the vegetables are soft. Add 2 cloves of minced garlic and cook for an additional 30 seconds. Add 1 8-ounce can of tomato sauce.
This is just a regular ass soup.
For more Southern recipes, be sure to follow me.
That was it? That was it? That was just soup. That was a waste of everyone's time. Oyster loaf. Oysters were plentiful and relatively inexpensive, so people could make them into loaves. Oh my god. It's a large loaf of French bread, oysters, butter, and heavy cream, and milk, and salt and pepper. So you cut a large rectangular section of the top of the bread, you hollow it out, and then put the oysters in it. That sounds kind of good. And then you make a sauce in there. I don't love raw oysters, like, off the shell. Like, they're too salty and I don't like the texture, but I feel like I might like this. This sounds very expensive. Yeah, I don't know. That looks kind of good, I'm going to be honest. Maybe they had a point with that one. Maybe they had a point with the oyster loaf. You know, they used to eat lobster back then, too, and I like lobster. So, early 1900s and World War I. Can we make this 1900s jello salad taste good? Probably not.
We're bringing aspic back. We're food tortured. Just keep rolling.
Andrew, if you want to do the honors, feel free to pull down the toaster.
Absolutely. Let me pull the start cord.
They have an interesting energy. Haven't decided how I feel about it yet.
So you have the choice.
They seem
between
harmless
Babe Goes
nonetheless.
Bananas and when life gives you lemon juice, make chartreuse.
Oh well, I mean it's not
All right,
not even. I'm scared about Babe Goes Bananas.
Right. Hence your nickname.
Yep,
Okay.
that's how I got it. Make an unsweetened lemon jelly. I love these old recipes because they assume everyone knows how to do that. Seasoning
The siblings are dating
with
energy.
minced parsley.
You nailed it. I could not put my finger on it. You are so right.
About an inch. When this is firm, place
They really
small
treated
mold
gelatin like it was a food
in
group.
the center of the mold. Pour sufficient gelatin in to fill the mold to harden the ice water, hot water. Fill the space with oyster. Oh, so it's an oyster and lemon chartreuse. Unmold, garnished with watercress and slices of lemon. Served with mayonnaise. And this comes from Mary H. Northen.
Thank you, Mary.
I've seen what I needed to see. That was more than enough for me. That was more than enough for me. That was more than enough for me to see. I feel really informed about that and ready to move on from it. Banana cream pie. No wonder men lick their chops when they see it. We're off to a great start. Phenomenal start. Maybe I was born at the wrong time. So easy to make too. Slice 6 ripe bananas, add 1 cup of heavy cream, whipped and mixed with 1 tablespoon of powdered sugar and half a teaspoon of vanilla. Fill baked pie or tart shells. Serve 6. That sounds good. That sounds awesome. I'm going to be honest. Another winner. We've had a few winners tonight. Cheese sandwich.
Welcome to Sandwiches of History. Today from the Sandwich Book of 1900.
Big fan already. Can I just say, sandwich history? I love when men have hobbies. That's an incredible hobby. If this guy ever does something terrible, I'm sorry, but just immediately I'm picking up a really positive energy.
We're going to be making the cheese sandwich. All right, to make our cheese sandwich, we naturally enough start off with a hard-boiled egg yolk that we rub to a paste. And we slowly add in with a fork oil.
Do you guys
Now
know
we add
this
in
man?
mustard, didn't say how much. Cayenne pepper, didn't say how much. And vinegar, did say how much. Now we add grated cheese. I would also said to add in salt, didn't say how much. Now we put that onto bread. Okay, let's give this cheese sandwich a go. So I'm getting a little bit of a kick from the vinegar, a little bite.
This doesn't
Plays off the
seem
richness of the eggs and
horrible.
cheese.
Would
not
I
really
go
tasting
for it
mustard
and
or
make it?
cayenne.
Probably not, but if someone
Yes.
offered it to me, I would try
And
it.
I do want to plus
That's
it
where
up.
I am with
I'm
that.
gonna add some chopped up nasturtium.
No, I bet you can do it with
And a
like
little,
just like a
fresh
fork if you want
vegetable
to.
flavor and a little peppery bite. Okay, let's give this cheese sandwich plus up a little chopped up nasturtium leaves. Go.
Hell
That is
yeah.
nice. Get a little peppery bite, a little bit of vegetable
I
flavor,
love this
contrasting
category
with
of the internet.
brightness of the
I'm
vinegar
really glad we
and the
stumbled
richness of
upon
the egg and
this.
the cheese. It's not bad.
The egg yolk, I think, makes this interesting.
I was going to originally, but kind of wanted to switch it up because I just did that not too long ago.
Me
the
in
cheese
college.
Sandwich, it feels like this is either a tea sandwich or it's a sandwich that's eaten as a course among many courses. It's not a filling sandwich. It's not something you're going to put in your work pail and go to the job site with. And as that kind of
I like
sandwich,
vinegar,
I'd
so
probably
I
give it about a
understand why
5.
you are.
It's a tangy, rich cheese spread.
That's what I mean, like a tangy cheese spread with like tangy cheese spread with bread. That sounds right up my alley. But then again, I really like vinegar. I like pickles. I like deviled eggs. I like things of that nature. So, number 20, pork cake without eggs, butter, or milk. Ground pork, molasses, brown sugar, 1 pint of hot coffee, and then cinnamon, cloves, nutmeg, and ginger. Pour the hot coffee over the baking soda and the salt pork. This does not sound good. And then a cup of, oh God. Again, this is salt pork. I need to read through it. I just skimmed it, but I need clarification. Pour the hot coffee, in which dissolves 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda, over the salt pork. Add molasses and sugar and flour, enough to make a medium stiff dough of pork. Stir in the spices, 1 pound raisins and currants together, and a cup of chopped nuts and candied cherries if desired. Put into loaf pans and bake in a slow oven 1 hour. I don't know what I'm more pissed off about. the pork and the coffee, or the pork and the coffee and the candied cherries and nuts. But it's very upsetting. And why are there always raisins? I don't even dislike raisins. I really don't. They're not my favorite, but I don't dislike them. But why are there always raisins? Growing up in the early 1900s, meals.
Meals were very simple affairs for most people living in the 1900s. Breakfast for the youngins would consist of a...
You know what? We're going backwards. Why were so many of the ingredients missing? Like, what do you mean? They didn't bring up the baking soda, the fucking nuts, the cherries, the spices, anything. This is bullshit. Why people thought these ingredients go together.
People living in the 1900s. Breakfast for the youngins would consist of a piece of toast or porridge and a cup of tea. Occasionally on weekends, they would get a cooked breakfast as a special treat.
So the same as children today.
Sunday lunch or Sunday dinner was the dinner of the week because my mother was too busy in the shop to really make a meal for the family.
Unlike today, children in those days...
I like how they
often
made
went to
these
school
kids
close to
pretend.
home, so they would go home for lunch. The Youngeen children went to the nearby Fort Street School, which was a short walk from their house on Gloucester Street. There was no Sydney Harbour Bridge in their way
this is
at
Australia.
that time. At dinner, the family would have dishes like steak and kidney pie or rabbit stew with bread and dripping.
I'm an American. Get out of here, Australia. So, Roaring 20s and Prohibition. One of the most famous homemade alcohol concoctions in Prohibition was bathtub gin. People would make gin by mixing industrial-grade alcohol with water and various flavoring agents like juniper oil, glycerin, or even turpentine. I was going to say, how did they not die? But a bunch of them did. Because the traditional distillation was illegal, individuals often repurposed industrial alcohol that had been denatured by the government to discourage consumption. The process of redistilling or diluting this alcohol was imprecise, sometimes leaving behind toxic substances such as methanol, which could cause blindness, organ failures, or death, like I mentioned. The lack of proper filtration and sanitation further contributed to the harsh and sometimes lethal nature of the bathtub gin. Tomato aspic, a savory gelatin dish. Yikes. Welcome to the stream. First time here. Everyone be nice to Goose Goose. Thank you. And they're on YouTube. I'm glad the YouTube chat is working. You are the first person I've seen from YouTube. Thank you for having confirmation of life. So anyway, where was I? The savory gelatin dish made with tomato juice, obviously. Spices, gelatin became popular in the United States around Prohibition. Creative cooking became a necessity as people got used to the restrictions on alcohol and changing social customs. So gelatin-based dishes grew partly because of formal dining and social gatherings. Why was a gelatin like the epitome of luxury to them? Tomato aspic often molded into decorative shapes and served with mayonnaise, shrimp, or cream cheese. Mayonnaise, shrimp, or cream cheese? No. No. Became a favorite at ladies' luncheons. I mean, I guess if I was off of the drugs that they had, maybe I would be willing to put up with this, but I just don't see it. And tea parties, it's a tart, savory flavor, also complemented by the lighter, more delicate fare of the time. By the mid-20th century, tomato aspic remained a symbol of refined entertaining, appearing in cookbooks from household brands like Better Homes and Garden and The Joy of Cooking. I hope Martha Stewart wasn't involved in this. Keep in mind, gelatin is animal fat. God, I feel an illness coming on. No, me too. I literally was like, why am I so nauseous? Like, what's happening to me? This is particularly popular in the South, because of course it is, where it's a staple of holiday and church gatherings. Absolutely disgusting. It looks horrible. I can't even look at it. I'm sorry, I was going to throw up. I'm being so fucking for real right now, too. So, Great Depression, the 1930s. This one I've seen on TikTok. Water pie. Water pie! You take a pie crust, unbaked. I like how they're just like, oh, your pie crust. I don't know how to do that. Break it down for me. Break it down for me. You take 1.5 cups of water, 4 tablespoons of flour, low amount of flour, times were tough. 1 cup of sugar, kind of a lot of sugar. Not to be in a pie, but I mean for it being the Great Depression. Most people don't have 1 cup of sugar laying around. 5 tablespoons of butter cut into 5 pieces, and then you put it in the oven, drizzle vanilla over the water, and place the butter on top of it, and bake it for 30 minutes, and then it turns into whatever the hell that is. I feel like it is not good, but it's not horrible, because none of the ingredients taste bad. Like, a lot of the things we've seen have absolutely foul ingredients, but I like water, I like flour, I like sugar, I like butter, and I like vanilla, so how bad could it be? How bad could it be? Did we have rations, or it was just poverty? Just poverty. Just poverty. Rations was in World War II. Peanut butter and mayo sandwich. I have heard people still do this. I've heard of this before. The Great Depression saw a rise of unexpected culinary combinations born from necessity and resourcefulness. The appeal of peanut butter and mayonnaise sandwich lay in its practicality. They were both pantry staples, readily available and relatively inexpensive, making them accessible to even people on the most meager budgets. It was a calorie-dense, filling meal. I can see that. That's a lot of protein and a lot of fat. Like, it's very utilitarian. Like, it's... My grandma still eats that. So if I was in this scenario, this is where they're losing me. Why'd you have to put them together? Could you not have one piece of bread with mayonnaise on it and then have another piece of bread with peanut butter on it? Why do they have to be together? That's where they're losing me. Because mayonnaise on toast doesn't seem bad. Like, it's not good, but it's the Great Depression. Like, things could, like, mayonnaise on toast isn't horrific. Like, it doesn't make me want to vomit. It's just kind of boring and plain. But then peanut butter on toast, again, I'm not a huge fan of peanut butter, but people eat that all the time. So why would you do that? Why would you do that? Or even if you only have 2 pieces of bread, you could make little half sandwiches. That could work. I don't get it. More importantly, it offered, like we said, a calorie-dense and filling meal. So this was embodying the resiliency of those who endured the Great Depression. They even had ads from the 1960s, and someone was saying their grandma eats this. And then they're putting other stuff on it. That's bacon, pickles, apples. That's what I'm saying, but, like, lose the mayonnaise, but, like, apples on peanut butter on toast, that sounds good. Maybe I'll have Nutella toast tonight. That sounds really good. Banana and ham roll-ups. I'm scared. 6 thin slices of boiled ham. Prepare mustard, 6 firm bananas, and cheese sauce. That's what I'm saying. Like, why are the bananas there? The bananas don't need to be there. No one asked for the bananas. We don't need the bananas. Wrap a slice of the prepared ham around each banana. Put it in a shallow baking dish and pour cheese sauce over it. Bake in moderate oven until bananas are tender, easily pierced with a fork. Serve hot with cheese sauce from the pan poured over each roll. This is literally terrifying. Melt butter, add flour and stir until smooth. Stir in milk slowly. Oh, that's the cheese sauce one. Okay, I was like, wait, why are we still going? This feels pornographic, and I'm very against it. That's the most terrifying thing I've ever seen. Ketchup and hot water soup. This is another one of the Great Depression. This is the one that I showed to my class. It's 1 cup of hot water and a ketchup packet, or just some ketchup. And then you just mix the ketchup to the hot water. And if you have seasonings, you can add them. And if you have milk or cream, you can add it. But it's just ketchup. It's just ketchup water. World War II rationings. If you did not know, during World War II, they gave people ration cards. If they tried to do this today, God, I do not think people would react positively to this. They gave people little ration cards. So your family had a card, and based on, like, how many people were in your family, I think, it would be like, you get this much butter, this much sugar, like, certain things were rationed. So when you went to the grocery store, if you wanted to buy butter, they'd be like, where's your little motherfucking card? And once you bought it, they, like, I think they put a hole in it or stamped it or something, so that if you went to a different store, you couldn't just, like, store hop. The way today, they'll limit you to 2, but you can just store hop if you really want to be annoying about it. But yeah, I'm going to ask my grandpa if he remembers these. He was born in 1931. Oh, please ask your grandpa. Does your grandpa want to be on this show? So yeah, people had ration cards. If you have seen the American Girl doll movie, I think it's, who is it? The one that takes place in World War II. It is a plot in the movie. But anyway, mock apple pie. people would use Ritz crackers as like a dupe or a mock for apples. They would mix it with sugar, spices, and lemon juice. It creates a texture and flavor remarkably similar to cooked apples. I think I might have had this. Molly. Yes, Molly was the American Girl doll. I think I have had this. I think I have the Ritz crackers. I kind of want to make this. This is another one, like, all the ingredients are good. So I'm not going to tell you it's going to be my favorite food, but it might not be bad. Cream of tartar is kind of concerning me, but it is only 2 teaspoons. So I'm going to stick with it. So 1950s and post-war boom. More terrifying shit. Liver sausage pineapple. Because we hate ourselves. A dish is strongly associated with the 1950s, a time when novelty and elaborate presentation were highly valued in home cooking. The liver sausage pineapple is primarily about visual appeal. The goal was to create a striking centerpiece for party buffets or appetizer spreads. The pineapple shape achieved by molding the liver sausage around a jar or other form and then topping it with a real pineapple crown. So it's a lie. Mayonnaise was often used to coat the pineapple. Why with the mayonnaise? It's the mayonnaise and it is the jello. Like, the mayonnaise and the gelatin is really getting me. They would use olives to create the eyes. Gelatin is used in some versions. Because of course it is. To help the liver sausage keep formed to its shape. This is upsetting. This is deeply upsetting.
Greetings, my lovelies. Hi, it's Emmy. Welcome back to another You Made What? Today I have another retro recipe for you, and it is this. Can you believe it? This is a liverwurst pineapple.
The olives have to go.
Don't you want to make one? So this
What's the yellow?
My mother-in-law's old Better Homes and Gardens new cookbook. This is the first page of the appetizer section, and when I saw it, I knew I had to make it. I've done a couple
is
of retro
diabolical.
recipes. If you missed those videos, I shall put the links down below. And if you like these retro recipes, be sure to subscribe for more making and eating. All right, so let's go to the kitchen and I'll show you how I put this.
Oh, you watch this YouTube channel, Lemur Banana?
This is what I'll be attempting to recreate. Here's a recipe.
Bringing this to my friend's SpongeBob-themed bachelorette.
2 tablespoons of cold water into a bowl and sprinkle 2 packages of unflavored gelatin on top.
Yeah, I can't do it. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I can't have sausage go into gelatin. I'm sorry. I just can't do that. Tuna and jello pie. As if they didn't have enough problems in the 1950s. Imagine people's gastrointestinal issues in the 1950s. And yes, that creator does seem quite lovely. I've arrived at an odd time. You have, Elias Solo. Welcome. Buckle up. So, tuna and jello pie, a quintessential 1950s creation, embodies the fascination with convenience and novelty in American cuisine. Born from the widespread embrace of canned goods and the ubiquitous use of jello, yeah, ubiquitous is one thing to say, this savory pie showcased a peculiar blend of tuna, mayonnaise, and gelatin. I hate it. I literally just hate it. I saw a theory the other day that was like, do you think that women were making this because they hated their husbands because they couldn't get divorced back then? Like, do you think that women were like, I live with this fucking horrible man that treats me like fucking shit. You know what you're getting for dinner? Tuna jello salad. It's that or nothing. The mayo again. The mayo! I went to ask my grandpa. I look over. He's asleep on the couch. I have to ask the guy tuckered out tomorrow, and we'll report back next week. Oh, that's what I meant. Like, you can report back. Your grandpa has been through a lot. He can take a nap. That's perfectly acceptable. I would make this if I truly hated someone. No, like, yes, so he goes to the bar after work and doesn't come home for dinner. Like, maybe we've cracked the code, you guys. Maybe we have cracked the code. 1960s and space age cooking. Frozen cheese salad. Frozen fruit salads may be the last course of a staple meal. I'm not reading all this. Apricot cheese salad. More gelatin. More gelatin. I have to sneeze. I feel it. I hate having to sneeze. I hate any reminder that I'm living in a physical body. You know what I'm saying? It was a novelty and they didn't have a For You page. It kept them entertained. I bet they were all betting that they'd put jello on more and more outlandish things. Oh, I'm going to sneeze again. I bet it was like, did you hear that Cheryl put jello on tuna? I'm going to put jello with liver in the shape of a pineapple and that'll fucking show her. Spam. I've actually never had Spam, I think. Wasn't jello just classism? Like, it showed that they had that much time to waste because making it takes so long. Wait, maybe you're right. Maybe they hated their husbands and they hated poor people. Kind of a two birds situation. Something about the lemon juice and the whipping cream. For my days working at Starbucks, I can tell you that simply won't work. So, Spam is pre-cooked canned meat. People ate this a lot during World War II, but it continued in popularity. I know a lot of people still eat Spam. I've never tried it, so I'm not going to try and speak on it. Vintage popcorn balls.
Welcome to my vintage kitchen. Today we're making caramel popcorn balls using my 1960 Daisy seal.
I love potato hash. I've never had it with Spam.
Started on the stove. Stovetop popcorn has always been my favorite way to make.
Do they still make
so
this?
Especially comes in handy since I don't have a microwave. For the caramel, put 14 cubes of candy into the seal mill with a tablespoon of water, and then put it to boil. All of the seal meal recipes look safe, so I think the purpose is to showcase mess-free cooking. And in my experience, making and or melting caramel can get quite messy. After 15 minutes, I cut the bag open, add a quart of popcorn, and then I start massaging.
This seems like a lot of work.
Once all the popcorn is properly
even with
coated,
like modern technology.
Balls, and they're ready to go.
I like that the other lady was like in the forest, like doing it like of the times.
If I made them again, you'll have to let me know. Would you give this a try, or how does your family make it? Welcome to.
Do you guys like the sweet popcorn? I'll eat it. Absolutely, I'll eat it, but I don't love it. I like the butter popcorn much better. 1970s to 2010s. The Vogue crash diet. This is crazy as fuck. It says if you do this for 3 days, you'll lose 5 pounds. Breakfast. 1 egg, hard boiled, 1 glass of dry white wine, and black coffee. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Lunch. 2 eggs, hard boiled is best, but poached if necessary. The way they said, if you poach your eggs, you're a little fucking bitch. 2 glasses of white wine. It's lunch and we're already 3 glasses of wine in. Incredible. Another black coffee. Off to a phenomenal start. The only food we've consumed is 3 hard-boiled eggs. And it's 4 p.m. Dinner. A 5-ounce steak grilled with black pepper, lemon juice, and the remainder of white wine. 1 bottle allowed per day. Black coffee. Now, this is a housewife diet. No way I could pull this off at work. I need to eat so many calories to be able to function at work. Lunch is wild. 2 glasses of white wine at lunch. Obsessed that we're drinking a full bottle a day. Like, the remainder of the wine. They're like, we don't know how heavy your pour is, so whatever the fuck is left in there, just drink it. And they didn't even specify the size of the bottle. No sides. No. The wine is the side. It's cooked in the wine. Life before MyFitnessPal was still bad. Wine is the side. Imagine you're at work and your coworker sits down next to you. I'm envisioning someone with like a little Tupperware of the 2 hard-boiled eggs. And do you guys know like the Tervis tumbler wine glasses? I have to show you so that you're getting this visualization, because this is what I imagine a coworker sitting down next to you, like having this at work. Oh my god, why can't I find it? I need to find this. Oh my god, yes. I found it. Fucking these things. Like, imagine your coworker has 2 glasses of white wine in these fucking, like, boat cups that people use. Like at the pool and shit. And oh, Sharon, what do you have for lunch? I have 2 hard-boiled eggs and 2 glasses of white wine. The teacher's lounge in France is basically this. They pop bottles. Take me to France. I say that, I can't even drink alcohol because it keeps fucking my stomach up. But I think that's partially because of stress. So maybe if I go to France, it'll be fine. I think. But anyway, what was I about to say? I forgot. Oh, I forgot again. Anyway, back to the recipes. The hard-boiled eggs and the white wine is absolutely killing me. Pickle cheesecake. I'm scared.
A pickled cheesecake from
Sorry,
72.
my allergies are killing
This
me.
cheesecake stands out because it's savory. You don't think it has anything to do with the pickles?
You're a
Start
food
with the pretzel
scientist?
crust. Melted margarine. Time for the filling. Pound of cream cheese.
Don't like this guy.
Cream, goat cheese.
Don't like the
Beef sauce.
stuff behind him. Don't like his vibe.
Single egg, parmesan, garlic, onion powder, and red pepper flakes. At least it's hot garbage. Now for the star of the show, an entire cup of...
I'm not saying he didn't make a whole cookbook. I'm saying his energy is very unsettling to me. It's not like a necessarily aggressive energy. It's just not an energy I particularly relax around.
It's a demon quiche.
Well, I could have told you that was gross. That was a lot. I really couldn't even focus on what he was saying. Leeks and pear bean puree. Yum. More jello. This is salmon jello. 2 packages of gelatin, boiling water, and cold water. 1 can of salmon. Why do we keep putting canned fish with jello? Party potato salad with Hellmann's. Why is it a square? Why is it a square? Why does it look like that? He's very intensely millennial. He is. He's a trooper, though. Eats it every time. That is a job I could not have. That is a style of content I don't think I could make. The party potato salad is quite the looker. I'm not even necessarily against it. It's kind of small, so I can't really read it, but it looks like a pretty traditional potato salad recipe. Oh, nope, there's gelatin. Never mind. There's fucking gelatin. That's how it's a square. I thought they just, like, put it in a mold or something. You know, potato salad is kind of, like, dense. I thought they just molded it and maybe put it in the fridge. Nope. It's gelatin. It is gelatin. It's gelatin. The Snackwell's diet was a popular low-fat eating trend in the 1990s, fueled by the widespread belief that fat was the primary cause of obesity and heart disease. The craze was heavily influenced by the introduction of Snackwell's, a brand of low-fat, fat-free cookies launched by Nabisco in 1992. With their green packaging and marketing that promised guilt-free indulgence, Snackwell's products became a symbol of the era's low-fat obsession. At the time, dietary guidelines encouraged Americans to reduce fat intake, leading food companies to replace fat with refined carbohydrates and sugar to maintain flavor. Great. That's such a star lives, but thank you. Snackwell's Devil's Food cookies and other treats were marketed as healthy alternatives to traditional snacks, but they were often loaded with sugar, leading many consumers to overeat them under the false consumption that they were healthy. So it's literally just marketing. My mom would let me eat so many of them. The Snackwell's phenomenon contributed to the misguided approach to dieting, where people focused on eliminating fat rather than overall nutrition and calorie balance. Over time, research debunked the idea that all fat is harmful, revealing that healthy fats, like those in avocados, nuts, and olive oil, are essential for a balanced diet. Let's just say, fat isn't necessarily bad for you. It depends what kind of thing you're consuming. The low-fat craze declined, and Snackwell's popularity faded as consumers shifted toward low-carb, whole food diets. I have had these, I believe. I know I've seen them. I think I have had these. Not in the 90s. I think I had, like, the more modern version. Fat-free, but, like, it's literally just cake. This is basically a cosmic brownie. So, Wow Chips, 1998, Lay's introduced fat-free Wow Chips containing a fat substitute called Olestra. They were incredibly popular with $400 million in sales in their first year. The following year, sales dropped in half as Olestra caused side effects like abdominal cramping, diarrhea, and anal leakage. Dorito, no! They used an oil that could not be digested by humans, thus it provided 0 calories. No one seemed to ask the question, if the body does not absorb the oil, what happens to it? I've never heard of this. You guys have heard of this? I had never heard of this. Charcoal ice cream became popular in the 2010s. I remember this. God, I forgot about this. as a social media-driven trend for Instagram-worthy foods. The addition of activated charcoal raised significant health concerns. Activated charcoal is often marketed as a detoxifying ingredient because it binds to toxins in the body. However, the same property makes it potentially harmful when consumed in food. Charcoal doesn't discriminate. It can bind to any essential nutrients in medications, preventing the body from absorbing them properly. This is particularly dangerous for people taking medications like birth control, antidepressants, or heart medications, as the charcoal can make them less effective. Do we think there are any charcoal babies out there? Possibly. Possibly. I remember this. This was like so Tumblr. There was charcoal everything, charcoal water. And gentle reminder, you don't need to detox. Your body does that itself. Exactly. That's what peeing is. Like, your body has kidneys and other organs that detoxify. The word detoxify means nothing. It's literally a marketing term, and they're all lying to you. That's what your liver is for. Very concerning for many reasons. Oh no, this is a child being exploited. I can't support this. NyQuil chicken. This was, I remember this in 2022 when people were like, it went viral again, but I had seen it before because I've been on the internet a long time. NyQuil chicken, also known as sleepy chicken, is a bizarre and dangerous internet trend that involves cooking chicken in NyQuil over-the-counter cold and flu medicine. This first surfaced in the mid-2010s and then resurfaced in 2022 after gaining traction on TikTok. While some people may have started it as a joke, health experts have strongly warned against it due to serious health risk. They issued an official warning against cooking with NyQuil, emphasizing that boiling medications can alter their chemical composition and make them far more potent and harmful. Know your chicken.
NyQuil chicken is a dish that involves marinating chicken in the cold and flu medication NyQuil with the intent of creating a meal that will treat sickness symptoms. NyQuil chicken, also known as sleepy chicken or bedtime chicken.
Bedtime chicken?
Online for 7
That sounds
years.
like chicken that you eat in bed.
Spiked in popularity again thanks to TikTok. Here's the history of the cursed chicken dish. The earliest known mention of NyQuil chicken comes from a tweet from April 20th, 2017.
Like, I remember seeing this.
If she makes you NyQuil chicken, do not let her go.
Like, and it's
The
literally
statement
just
is
someone
accompanied by 2
shitposting.
photos, one of raw chicken marinating in the NyQuil, and the other of the finished product, which remains a sickly green even when cooked. The images spread to the shitty food porn subreddit, and the questionable recipe was revisited in a YouTube video.
Ugh, the chicken's grossing me out. So, this is school lunches through time. This is fun.
I eat what's trending.
A radish sandwich? I'm very intrigued because I don't hate radishes.
That's terrible.
Why would you bring this?
I feel so bad for my parents that they had to live like this.
Milk. Big milk. A tomato sandwich. I've had a tomato sandwich. Ooh, a pickle sounds good right now.
It tastes like sadness. I think it's how they made hamburgers back then.
Celery fruit cocktail milk. And an egg salad sandwich in the 1920s.
I thought it was an egg McMuffin. That's gross and kind of good at the same time.
I feel that way about a lot of foods.
This is what people ate in the 1920s.
I don't hate radishes, but people who eat them like apples scare me. I'm sorry. I have never seen anyone do that. I was saying I like them because I've had them in salads and I think they're a nice little crunch.
Isn't there supposed to be a sandwich?
It's the Depression. It's just bread.
That's really good.
I like how they're giving the kids coffee. Tomato soup, a Spamwich, club crackers.
Is that Spam?
Oh God.
I would rather jump off a bridge than eat this.
Tough. The kids had to have coffee. They had jobs. It's Sandwiches are really consistent for children throughout time.
I feel like I'm trying something new and I'm liking it.
If your mom packed this lunch for you, what would you say?
Thank you for the effort, but I'm not really into this kind of thing. This is
Thank you for the effort, but I'm not into this kind of thing.
Even better than the cafeteria.
Molly needed the energy to tap
Cafeteria
dance.
lunch
Actually, I
and
have to go to the grocery store tomorrow. Can politicians stop texting me and get some work done? Get out of my DMs. Not even my real DMs. I literally mean like the robot text.
Ew. That's actually not too bad.
Oh, I want Pringles too. Ugh, not into bologna.
2016.
These lunches are not Michelle Obama approved.
What? Soda was back then? What's
Soda was back then?
It tastes like Pepsi or Coke or both.
Leftover pizza and a Twinkie.
I know what I'm eating first.
Real.
Pepperoni pizza. Tastes like a unicorn threw up a rainbow.
Pizza is good. I haven't had pizza in a while. The Snack Wells! The Snack Wells!
This is good, but I wouldn't have the cheese in it. But this lunch together is actually very good. It's really soggy and it's leaking. It'll probably drip all over the place, making the lunch ladies mad. There's a little
She's
bit
very
of junk
practical.
food missing from this one. Nobody
Very
eats
practical queen. So, I hope that this was enjoyable for you. I do have the game as usual. And like I said, next week we will be guessing the price of some very large, very tacky homes. So let me pull up our frickin' game. And tonight was a little bit of a shorter night. Where's the square pizza though? This was their packed lunch from home. You have to get that government square pizza. Not what I want. There we go. Found it. And like I didn't even preview the game tonight. I'm really not on my shit. There's a bot here. Be gone. Cool. X that out. So, which game do we want to do? Let's do sports. I like the music and we never do sports. But anyway, this was very much enjoyable to me. Let me read through while we are here and waiting. And there's the information to join Nearpod on there. Oh, not what I wanted. There we go. Sorry about that. Let me tell you what our topics are going to be for the next couple of weeks, especially for the YouTubers that are watching this later. So, today we did reacting to old history recipes. Oh, I just moved the entire fucking screen. Cool. Today we did reacting to old history recipes. Next week we're doing the tacky houses. April 1st, we're going to do best and worst April Fool's Day pranks, and you're going to get to vote on if you think they're funny or mean, because I'm not against pranking, but, and yes, I can share their Nearpod link. I'm not against pranking, but I think some people are just like assholes about it and really mean about it, and it's like not fun for anyone involved. So we're going to vote on pranks if we think they're nicer and like good or mean. Then April 8th, we're going to do like former social media trends. So feel free to tell me ideas. I'm thinking Harlem Shake. I'm thinking planking. I'm thinking owling, things of that nature. April 15th, we're doing old dating advice. So like kind of this was old recipes. We're going to find old dating advice, mainly for women. We should find it for men too. I bet that's horrifying. And then April 22nd, we're going to do another Reddit one, but it'll be malicious compliant. So thank you to whoever gave me that idea. So yeah, a lot of exciting things coming our way. Lots to look forward to. There's no reason to be anxious or upset because life is great, right? That's how everyone feels. Hee hee. And yeah, let me know if you guys like the vibe that I've been on recently and kind of the newer ideas and topics, because I know like I kind of built this stream and a lot of it we did like a lot of history and a lot of storytelling of like a person or an event or something like that, and now we're just kind of being like goofy, but I think the stuff is still funny and cool. So if you want me to go back to the more story type stuff, let me know. But it was just getting to a point where I was like struggling to think of things to talk about, but I didn't want to talk about things I don't give a shit about because that's not fun for anyone. So I was like, let's just find other things that I find interesting. So, like I said, I do have some other story ones planned eventually. The mannequin challenge. Oh my God, you're right. Write that down. Write that down. Let me write down all of them. I forgot about the mannequin challenge. How do you spell mannequin? God. To be honest, the Reddit readings are the ones I skip. There's so many other people who do that. Fair. Fair. Fair, fair, fair. Can we get a Nene from Real Housewives of Atlanta? Yes, she is on my list, but I just, like, I need to put so much care into it. Maybe I'll do that over spring break. I loved your history streams, but these are lots of fun, more interactive. That's how I felt. Like, I felt like these are the very interactive vibe and very, like, it's fun to be here live. Did anyone else have to sign into Nearpod tonight? Hopefully you did not. My Andy Cohen stream, like, that was a great one. I loved that one. Class is just in a different era right now. Historical occultist. I don't know if you've ever done a below deck stream. So I was thinking of doing like a history of yachting / below deck stream. The ALL Ice Bucket Challenge. How did that help? I said that too, and everyone was like, you're an asshole, and apparently they actually raised like a fuck ton of money, and I guess I'm just like a cynic, but I'm suspicious. Anytime a lot of celebrities are doing something, I'm suspicious. It's a little weird. We stand Captain Lee. Never mind, I made a typo in the code and it took me to a random chemistry lesson. Yeah, I think if like certain districts have it set to their students can't get in. There was one time one of my kids made a typo on the code and joined a 3rd grade math lesson and didn't notice for 20 minutes. Like, it was at one point where he was like, wait, my screen didn't move. And I was like, it's been 20 minutes. You've been doing math this whole time? And he goes, yeah, I don't know. I thought we were like doing something. And, like, that literally made me so mad. That was a while ago. That was last year, I think. I'd be down to learn about yachts. Kids are hilarious. So, I'm going to start the game. If you have not joined, it'll still let you join. I like that you pick your little characters. Was he winning, though? No, the one he was on was not, like, one of the win or lose ones. Like, it was, like, questions and matching. It wasn't. And that's why he noticed, is because we got to the game, and he was like, wait, my game didn't show up. That's what made him notice. Have you ever done a stream about sweepstakes and whether or not they've turned out legit? I have not, but I have the McDonald's Monopoly on my list, but I literally know nothing about it, so I have to learn about it first, and then I will be in on that. Alrighty, freaking Nearpod, let's go. I tried to do a fun name, and it put my full name. What the hell? Oh, I'm sorry. You can leave the Nearpod if you want. You just have to, like, it should be at the top left, and you can exit. That's weird. It might have been maybe like your phone auto-filling. Not to victim blame you. Maybe it was Nearpod if you've done Nearpod before. Gelatin, which was thought to be medicinal. I can see why. They put it in fucking everything. What was the biggest danger of cooking the NyQuil chicken? It's like when my students pretend they don't know how to sign into their Chromebooks. Baby, it's March. March is a terrible time for children and for teachers. Like, the levels of stress in my classroom right now are to the moon. Exorbitant. Huge. Because, like, they're feeding off my stress and I'm feeding off their stress. And it's just like a stress loop. Because especially a lot of my AP kids, they're taking SATs right now. Like, a lot of them are involved in, like, clubs and sports and things that have, like, finals and championships right now. Standardized testing season is coming up, so a lot of their classes have started moving a lot faster because we always get behind. So, yeah. And at first I felt bad for giving them, like, I don't want to say easy work, because it still is work, and it's still rigorous, and it's still definitely, like, furthering their learning. But it does not have as much reading as the usual work I give them. Especially for my AP kids, a lot of their work has a lot of primary sources they're reading. Like, a lot of them. It's hard. Like, and I tell them, like, I'm sorry, it's an AP class, I have to do this to you. But that's why a lot of my kids pass the exam. But their work now is a little more open-ended and creative. Like, make a timeline about what we learned about and things like that, as opposed to, like, analyzing these really dense primary sources. So I'm just trying to, like, lay off a little bit. Because I feel bad. They're super behind. I'm super behind on grading, so, like, and then, like, 2 assignments, I just took half of each one and put them together. It's gonna be 1 because we had testing, so we're losing some instructional time. It's just been, like, a lot of shifting and moving and shaking, and, like, I've told you guys before, I have a completely new admin team except one person, so it's just, like, I literally just feel like I'm in a tornado. And I don't mean that in like a positive Wizard of Oz way. I mean that in like a terrifying, like I'm stressed out way. But good news, friends. The house purchase is going very well so far. We're not at the finish line yet, but we are close, and I'm super lit about it. And yeah, I'm just really, really excited about it. And things will be good. So that's one thing that makes life easier, I will say. So like I've crashed out about teaching before. Y'all know about my crash out, or those of you that have followed me for a while. Actually, I guess I always say y'all know, but I guess like most of my following is from after that. But anyway, I crashed out about teaching like a long time ago. That's actually why I started this stream years ago. And the difference between that crash out and this crash out, and right now I'm not even crashing out. Like when I say the difference, I mean reasons why like that was a crash out and this I'm like not crashing out is because I feel like now I have so much more of an identity outside of work. I'm also just older and more mature as opposed to like before when I was in a really stressful circumstance. I feel like I responded really differently, but now being in a stressful circumstance, I'm like not having a good time, but it's definitely not affecting me as badly, and I'm like handling it a lot better, but it's still not fun to be like stressed out and pulled in a lot of different directions. History of Jenna Marbles. The kids don't know about her. I love Jenna Marbles. I hope she's doing well. Why was water pie even a thing? Yeah, I am gonna have Nutella toast. That sounds really good right now. I've been, like, really loving toast recently. I've been, like, really on a toast kick. Water pie. I wish I had brie. The cheese. Good. Good. It also, like, the two situations, like, the situation I'm in now is very different than the situation I was in back then. I'm only like conflating them together because they were both very like stressful work situations, you know? Who's this? I feel like I follow the most random people on Instagram. Oh, I know why I follow that person. I was trying to network. Clearly I'm great at it. Who the fuck is this? Deep dives on 2010s YouTubers. One of my other ideas that we're gonna do soon is rating YouTuber apologies. So I'll pick like 5 or 6, and I'll let you guys rate them of who you think should go where. So we'll, like, read about what they're apologizing for and then watch the apology. But some of them are so long, we might have to find, like, a highlights version. Alrighty, 1-800-MEGAN, Caitlin, Bring Back Tang, Julian, Plastic Jello Mold, Victim Turtle Soup, a Gelatin Parking Lot, Rye, Meglord, Yes I Made the PB Mayo sandwich. How was that? I would love to hear from you on how that was. I will scroll through the rest. I'm sitting on my phone. Sorry, that was really uncomfortable. Gelatin is the epitome of wealth. 1930s at a sandwich. Water pie and raisins. It's always the raisins. So, thank you so much for being here. Any memes, any recipes you want to share? I hope that this was enjoyable. I'm really excited to have another very, like, participatory and what was the word someone used earlier? Like a very fun live experience with us next time when you're trying to lose 5 pounds in 30 days. Yeah, we're gonna need to save that one. Today's threat level is soup and then Tang. Absolutely incredible memes here. That looks very offensive for a variety of reasons. Is that supposed to be a man or are the chips his hair? Colleen Ballinger's apology video. She's a lot. I've always thought that she was a lot, and then all that stuff happened, and I was like, yeah, that's a lot. These two perhaps are going down among the infamous stream villains of all time. The jiggle. This being a video scares me, I'm sorry. It scares me, I'm scared. Oh. Can you please do a women's suffrage movement focused on Black women? I have not talked about the women's suffrage movement, so I can definitely add that to my list. I'll have to do some more research for it. And it would be very, like, serious history vibes. But yeah. The gelatin is killing me. All right, I'm afraid of the video, so if it's something good, I'm sorry. I'm just afraid. If it had a thumbnail, I would be more open-minded, but it's just the lack of anything is scaring me. But anyway, thank you so much for being here. I hope that you enjoyed this. This is always one of my favorite part of my weeks. That made no sense, but you know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, this was a nice little distraction from the many things happening. Thank you for supporting me and all of the things. This